Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Son of Canuxsploitation-A-Thon, where I put the spotlight on strange films from the Great White North. And when I say strange, I mean it this time, because the movie I'm going to talk about today is really quite something. I'm not exactly sure what, but it's definitely something. The Pit is a 1981 horror movie that, even though it's supposedly Canadian, feels more like it was made in an alternate dimension where things are almost the same as ours, but not quite. Imagine if somebody put an after-school special about bullying, The Good Son, Ted, and Troll 2 into a blender, and that'll give you some idea of what we're dealing with here. In fact, it's such a weird mishmash of tones and ideas, I'm a little surprised more people haven't talked about it online. Then again, considering the poster for this thing makes it look like it's about a little kid who gives naked pictures to monsters while staring directly into your soul, maybe it's not that surprising. Boy, this Canadian adaptation of It looks kinda cheap. And don't even get me started on these ghost effects.
You're Freddie Phelps.
Yeah, I'm him. Who are you?
I'm Jamie. I was wondering if I could join your club and...
Okay, that may have seemed harsh, but believe me, by the end of this movie, you're gonna want to do that to this kid too. It's probably a good thing he's leading Freddy away. 16 is a little old to be attending a kid's birthday party. Joke's on Freddy though, this kid just formed his own club, and as part of the initiation, you're thrown to your death. And if you think this movie's off to a weird start... it's also got a creepy teddy bear to haunt your nightmares. As punishment for murdering one of his schoolmates, he's forced to reenact a Simpsons opening credits gag. Okay, actually the opening was a flash forward to later in the movie, so spoiler alert, this kid dies. Instead, I think he's being punished for something else.
It's one page with the cutout. Did you do this?
Hey, relax, he was just trying to save me some time on blackboxing. He's gonna need to be pretty clever to get out of this.
No. That's the way it was.
Well, I'll take your word for it.
Okay, never mind, that was easy.
All right, Jamie. Rub it off and go home.
Thank you, Miss Oblivion. So our main character is Jamie, a 12-year-old kid who lives in a sleepy little Canadian town and... oh, never mind, I guess we're supposed to be in America. Once again, though, I completely understand why the filmmakers did this. I mean, a movie about a kid with a talking teddy bear who feeds people to monsters he finds in a pit is one thing, but if it also took place in Canada... well, that's a little far-fetched, don't you think? And it turns out the reason he was clipping pictures of naked women was so he could try and impress Librarian Ratchet here. Well, looks like she didn't like your gift. Next he's gonna try killing her cat and leaving its head on her doorstep and see if that impresses her. I get the feeling Jamie isn't the most popular kid in town.
How dare you touch my bike? Why don't you go back where you came from, funny person?
Whoa! I know he's a little weird, but there's no need for that kind of language. Jamie's parents are trying to find a babysitter to take care of him while they're out of town for a few days. And yeah, I can see why they'd want to get away from him for a little while.
We had an incident here with some old lady in the community. Seeing him swinging in the trees out back with nothing on, except some Superman cape or something.
Look, just teach him how to play guitar and he can make some decent money busking in Times Square like that. The babysitter his parents choose is Sandy, played by Jeannie Elias, and while you may not recognize her name or face, some of you may recognize her voice.
As I said in my letter, I'm getting through college babysitting exceptional children.
If you promise to free the Marios and restore Toad and my mushroom people to life.
Drowning is my third favorite way to die, but they are all good.
He must be looking for another Adams to make miserable.
I wish I could say this is my first time seeing a familiar voice actor in such a weird movie, but after hearing Frank Welker bang Little Red Riding Hood in Once Upon a Girl, I'm kinda used to it. Jeez, I think this movie just turned into one of those Canadian anti-drunk driving PSAs. And in case you haven't been charmed by Jamie so far in this movie...
Get established in school, I have to pull up the roots. None of that, young man!
Ugh, Jamie's parents are gonna be so lucky when he finally discovers anime. So with his parents away on disco business, judging by that outfit, Jamie's left alone with Sandy, but there's a bit of a complication.
Do you have a boyfriend?
Yeah? Why?
Oh man, guess we'll have to look at her panties in secret then.
Know what happened in school yesterday? Nope. What happened in school yesterday?
I had to write something on the board 100 times.
Did you deserve it?
No.
Yeah, I highly doubt that, kid. Oh, and if anyone thinks I'm exaggerating how creepy Jamie is...
How old is your boyfriend? I spend most of my time... I'll get it! I said I'd get it.
Okay, I know you're going through college and need the money, but red flags, lady!
I'm gonna go talk to Teddy.
Oh, right. Jamie also has a teddy bear that he talks to, or rather, it talks to him.
She's not like the others, Teddy. She's pretty. Really pretty.
Well then, she's just what we've been waiting for, isn't she?
Man, the prototypes for Teddy Ruxpin were weird. And I don't think family aerobics tapes were a good idea either.
What's the matter with boys?
What boys, dear?
Well, like that little Jamie person.
What about him?
Is he crazy?
Yes.
No.
Ugh, you were gonna regret saying that later, trust me. Just like Sandy's gonna regret taking this babysitting job.
My mother always reads to me before I go to sleep.
She can't read to you right now, she's late for her nighttime geisha job. You know, I can see why Sandy is with her boyfriend. After all, they both have the same taste in perms. Jamie does not like this.
Uh-oh.
I heard. I think I'm gonna tell her about the things.
The things? No, you're skipping ahead in the Canuxsploitation-A-Thon. In other news, nipple.
Jamie, what are you doing in here?
Was just watching you sleep.
Oh, okay then. Wait, what?
After breakfast, I'm gonna tell you a secret.
Look, Jamie, I already know you jerk off to your Smurfs comics. You don't have to tell me. And don't eat anything this kid cooks for you. He probably put some of his bodily fluids in there just so he could tell you part of him's inside you now. Believe it or not, Jamie's secret isn't that he has a talking teddy bear.
I know where there's a huge hole in the ground. And at the bottom of the hole, down in the dark, there are some things. I read about them in a book. Or something like them. I think the trolls are trollogs.
Trolologs? Did this kid just discover internet memes in 1981? I'm not surprised Jamie knows about a giant hole in the middle of the woods. He seems like the type of kid that would have a place to dump bodies in. And here's a twist, the troll things are actually real.
Can you hear me? Do you talk to people? I guess not.
Okay, I think I have an idea of how Jamie's gonna try and get rid of Sandy's I can't believe it's not Steve Gutenberg boyfriend here. Take my advice, Jamie. You should stick with girls your own age.
No, I thought about it. And I realized I shouldn't have yelled at you like that. I kinda like you.
Look, Jamie, that's probably the only time you're ever gonna hear that from a girl. Just go for it. Aha, it was all just a trick. Whatever, I really just want your aunt anyway. I think the way she wears her pants above her belly button is super hot. Listen, Sandy, don't go snooping around in Jamie's room. You're probably not gonna like what you find.
This type of magazine. And you? Does that make sense?
Okay, Sandy, a 12-year-old boy looking at naked pictures is the healthiest, most normal thing about Jamie. Believe me. Speaking of things making sense, even though we've established that the trolls are real, the fact that we only ever hear Teddy talk to Jamie and he always speaks in Jamie's voice would lead one to believe that his conversations with him were just in Jamie's head. Nope, the fucking teddy bear's alive! But at least this movie gives us a rational explanation for the trolls. Kinda.
What does that say?
Troglodytes. From the Greek word meaning cave dweller.
I'm pretty sure it's troglodyte, but hey, I'm not judging. And it's been a couple of minutes since Jamie's been creepy.
Will you wash my back?
Yeah, nice try, kid, but there is no way in hell Sandy is gonna give you a bath. Wait, what?
Do you know why my mother washes me so much?
But no matter how hard she scrubs, I'm never clean. I think you may have made a mistake in agreeing to this, Sandy.
It's funny. I don't always think I'm dirty. Do you like washing me?
Okay, I think bath time's over. Thank God that's over with. Sandy and her friend need to go be victims in a Friday the 13th movie. Meanwhile, Jamie tries to feed the trolls or trolologs or whatever, but he finds out they don't like chocolate bars, although that could be because he gave them Zagnuts. Maybe these prehistoric creatures are on the paleo diet. That would make more sense after all.
So that's what you eat.
Well, great. Not only did Jamie give these things a taste for meat, he's also practicing his peeping Tom skills on Sandy. And that is not how you spell red rum, kid. I don't think this is gonna go over like he planned.
Did you go in there and write that on the mirror while I was taking a shower?
Well, I also sniffed your clothes before I left, too.
Sandy, before you go, will you leave me a picture of you? A photograph?
Look, Jamie, just leave me alone, okay? Please?
Finally, Sandy has a believable reaction to this kid. Sandy's just caught up to what the rest of the neighborhood thinks of Jamie.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Well, if it isn't clumsy stupid.
Whoa, again, language, young lady. Eventually, Jamie has to resort to stealing money from Sandy in order to buy meat for the trolls. Although if they're stuck in that hole and need Jamie to feed them, just what the hell were they eating before? Or were there originally a lot more of these things down there?
How much money do you have left?
62 cents.
Well, I'll think of something.
I could always turn tricks for furries and make some money that way. No need for that, though. Instead, he tricks librarian lady into thinking he's a kidnapper that has her niece and orders her to strip naked so he can secretly take pictures of her.
Look at the look at her face.
You know, evil teddy bear or not, this kid has future Ted Bundy written all over him.
I'm gonna look at these a lot.
Great, now the teddy bear's gonna jerk off to the pictures. Because he doesn't have any more money to buy meat, Jamie's forced to get a little creative to feed the trolls.
Look, I've got some friends that eat meat too. And I gotta take care of them. I'm gonna take you to see them.
Okay, but I'm not really talking to you now. You're just crazy, kid. Jamie, however, doesn't have it in him to kill a cow. Instead, he just resorts to murder.
I tried everything I could think of.
Then there's only one thing left, isn't there?
But not nice people.
Oh no, nasty people.
Yes, because anyone who refuses to be friends with you clearly deserves to die, Jamie. Some kids tease girls to show that they like them. This one feeds them to trolls he finds in a hole in the ground.
You give me my bike. My aunt will call the police on you!
Also, that girl was kinda clumsy. Oh, and those things in the pit aren't called trolologs, they're called bogs. See, the sign even says so. It's also probably for the best that Jamie feeds this old lady to the trolls. She was either gonna die like this or by getting thrown out of a window by gremlins. And thanks to the trolls, Jamie now has a convenient way to kill Sandy's boyfriend. Before this, Jamie was just gonna cut the brake lines on his car.
Here it comes.
And how does no one notice this giant hole in the ground? Okay, looks like that brings us back to the beginning of the movie, and I hope you liked this scene the first time around because they show the entire thing again. You know, just in case anyone got to the theater late. The main difference is this time after he kills Freddy, he also goes after his girlfriend too.
Christina!
Yeah, that'll teach her to... was she mean to Jamie? It seems like he's just killing random people now, which actually makes sense for this kid.
I'm sorry about you. People being bullied and hurt isn't funny.
Neither is being a little creep who murders people, Jamie. Oh good, he's gonna use her tutu as part of the woman suit he's making in his garage. Well, at least Sandy seems to have moved on from her boyfriend mysteriously disappearing. Now she's dating Canadian Tom Selleck. He's kinda like regular Tom Selleck, except after he gives you a mustache ride, he apologizes for being so damn good. I think Sandy's starting to get a little sick of Jamie's shit.
Hasn't he called you?
No.
Was that supposed to be my fault?
Jamie, I'm sorry.
Don't be, this kid deserves a lot worse. There is still a way you can turn this around though, Jamie. Show Sandy your secret troll murder pit. That'll be sure to get her on your side.
They're pigs! They're pigs or warthogs or something!
No, they're trollogs.
Quit calling them that. They're called troglodytes. Or dites. God damn it.
I can't believe it. You can see them. You can see them!
Okay, time for a little background info. The script was originally a lot darker, with both the trolls and Teddy talking being just figments of Jamie's imagination, and the movie instead being about a psychotic kid who starts murdering people. However, the director changed it so that the trolls and Teddy were both real and made the movie's tone considerably lighter, changes that screenwriter Ian Stewart strongly disapproved of. And knowing all that really helps to explain why this movie is so... weird.
Honey, listen to me carefully. There are special scientists called paleontologists and anthropologists whose only job
No! They'd put him in a cage or lock him in a zoo for sure!
Alright, that still sounds like it'd be better than being stuck in that hole. They're starting to run out of places to go to the bathroom down there. Unfortunately for Sandy, even she isn't immune to being clumsy around this damn hole. Jamie, I swear I'll let you watch me shower. Just please don't let me die. Well, your babysitter's dead, Jamie. Looks like you'll have to go back to cutting the eyes out of women in magazines again.
I didn't do anything wrong. It's not my fault she died.
Yeah, it's just your fault several other people are dead. Oh good, the cops have finally come to take this little psycho away. Okay, actually Jamie framed Sandy's 45-year-old boyfriend for all the missing people, but he's got other things to worry about.
You shouldn't tell lies like that, Jamie.
Ghost babysitter! This town is really not prepared to deal with this many missing people. They're used to only a couple people being fed to trolls at a time. And remember when I mentioned the tone getting lightened earlier?
Please. How could anyone possibly be missing in this town?
So many more people are gonna die because those cops don't have their shit together. Yeah, that's it, Jamie. Let the trolls out of the pit so they can go kill people freely. That way you absolve yourself of any responsibility. And leave me the hell alone, ghost babysitter.
She's not there, Jamie. You see her because you think it was your fault.
Now me, on the other hand, I'm real, motherfucker. And you will do what I tell you to do. All of a sudden, in the last 15 minutes, this movie goes from being about a creepy kid to a slasher movie about caveman trolls. Then again, I suppose I'd be angry too if it looked like I was always staring through a bottle of urine.
This place is deserted. There's a house back up the road, but nobody lives in it.
Want to go skinny dipping?
I'm tired.
Okay, I think that was your boyfriend's way of telling you he's not that into you. Also, since this is the 80s, skinny dipping is a surefire way to end up dead in a horror movie. These trolls do not approve of public nudity. And the same goes for you, Mr. Daisy Dukes. It's a shame the trolls are killing so many people, but at least they're not doing something really terrible, like not being friends with a creepy kid who doesn't deserve to have friends. With the police unable to handle things themselves, there's only one solution to this murder spree: an armed posse of off-season duck hunters. They better hurry though, the trolls are trying to make their way back to the set of Quest for Fire. Oh hey, what do you know, somebody other than Jamie finally noticed this giant hole in the ground.
Shoot them!
Fellas, should we maybe leave one of them alive for scientific purposes? No? Okay. Well, I guess they can still get the bodies out of there. Finding a race of prehistoric creatures is a pretty big discovery after all, and oh, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, it was dogs. A pack of them. They must have been wild and living out there for years. No need to drag them into town, make too much of a scene.
Wait a second, so did the police and townspeople know about these things and are now covering it up? I feel like this movie's hinting at something that's never going to be followed up on. So with the trolls taken care of, that means Jamie gets away scot-free. Now he can go visit Grandma and Grandpa Henry Kissinger.
See that little girl there?
Yeah?
Well, that's Alicia. She can be your playmate.
Quit giving this kid people to abuse! Joke's on Jamie, though. Alicia's got a secret of her own to show him.
They're trawl logs. They eat people.
Nah, he deserved it. Well, that was certainly interesting. This is one of those movies where I can't help but wonder what it would have been like if they had stayed with the original concept. If this had been a darker movie about a psychotic kid who retreated into his imagination as an excuse to start murdering people, this had the potential to be a seriously disturbing horror movie. And in fact, the novelization of the movie, which was published under the title Teddy, got a lot more critical acclaim and is considered something of an overlooked horror classic. But as far as the movie is concerned, it's almost like it can't quite decide what it wants to be. Is it a drama about an awkward, disturbed kid? A horror movie about troll monsters? Is it supposed to be scary? Funny? It's definitely flawed, but it's also too unique and original for me to totally dismiss it, and actor Sammy Snyders does do an effectively creepy job as Jamie, so even if it doesn't entirely succeed, it's still kind of interesting, if only for how weird it is. Well, we're now halfway through my second Canuxploitation-A-Thon. Normally with these things I like to save the worst movie for last, but I think I'll get that out of the way a little earlier this time. You'll see why next episode. Until next time...
What do I do now? Well, she'll get undressed and go into the bathroom.